All right. How did you like the video? So, she doesn't want me to say it, but April, our video master, is the one that made it. So when you see her running around with a video camera, give her mad props, people. That was awesome. Good morning, ClexaCon. How's everybody doing? Who's ready to talk about some Runaways? So first and foremost, for those of you that don't know, I am Jess HD, and when I don't get to talk about all things comic book, all things queer, I am the head of creator and diversity programming at YouTube Spaces. So I love talking about diversity, I love talking about representation, and I love talking about good content. But you didn't come here to see me, right? Okay, so without further ado, I want to talk Runaways. You know them as Gert, Nico, Carolina, and Zaven, but let's introduce Ariela, Lyrica, Okano, Virginia, Gardner, and Clarissa, Thibeaux. Hey!
Hi. Hi.
Hi, guys. Welcome to ClexaCon. First time for all of you. Yeah, right?
Thanks for having us. Is this on? Yeah.
It's on. So far, so good. So far, so crazy. Thoughts?
It's been amazing so far.
It's just begun, but super fun.
I feel like this has been on our radar for 2 years now. So I've been really wanting to come for the longest time. So I'm so glad that we were able to make this happen. Thank you for having
We're
us.
so glad to have you guys. I mean, I've already gushed about it, but I've been a long time massive Runaways fan, like since the comic first came out. It came out at a time which most of you know, there wasn't representation. It wasn't representation at all in comics or also really on TV. And it really broke ground in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. So when it was announced that it was coming to TV, it was awesome, amazing. I might have geeked out, just really hardcore. But I'd love to know from you guys, like, what drew you to the project? And did you know about the Runaways? Did you read the comics? Did you know what you were getting into?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was always one of those people who kind of like scoured through the Marvel archives to see what I could maybe be in one day.
I think we've all done that, right?
Yeah, come on. And it can happen, guys. Yeah, Runaways had like come up on my radar, but there weren't any Latinx characters, or there was like Victor Mancha, which was like a long shot for me to play him.
Never say never.
Honestly. But yeah, so I had like done my research and it had come up, and like Gert had always interested me, but I didn't think it was realistic. And when the casting notice first came out for the show, the only character they were planning on changing to Latinx was Molly. So I auditioned for Molly, and my logic was, if the Gossip Girl creators are making this, maybe all the other teenagers will be 30 and I'll look 14. Sorry, Josh and Steph. But it's reasonable logic.
It totally is.
But then I went in and they were like, none of us believe you're getting your period for the first time. So they were like, want to just read Gert? And then I read the description and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is it. And there was no question from there.
Which, thank God, because you fit Gert really well.
Thank you.
How about the rest of you guys?
Well, I remember the first round of auditions, they didn't really give us much info. I just knew that it was a Marvel audition. So I went on the internet and I looked up Japanese American, because they wrote down that it was a Japanese American Marvel character. So I researched that and only one name popped up, which was luckily Nico Minoru. And she looked really cool. So I mean, I was really excited to go in, and yeah, I think I picked up the comic book after they told me they wanted to go to LA to do the screen test for it, and I fell in love. Yeah.
I had a similar experience. I didn't really know what I was auditioning for, but I knew it was Marvel something, and there was like code names that were kind of similar-ish to the actual character names, and I went in, and after my screen test for it, Brett Morgan, the director of the pilot, was like, if I were you, I would go read the Runaways comics and look at Carolina Dean. So I like ran out of the audition room. I Amazon Primed like all of the comic books that night, and went through all of them, and was so excited that this was the character. I can't imagine a more exciting one for me to be able to do in the Marvel Universe. So I was super excited.
And I am totally new to the Marvel Universe. A similar experience when I don't even know if I knew I was auditioning for Marvel. Like, I think I was just excited that it was going to be on the Paramount lot. And I was like, oh, wow, it's going to be big. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what it was going to be. And I had a code name, too, so I had no idea. And I think all it said was, like, alien. And I was like, cool, sounds like me. But yeah, I auditioned and then
We did a chemistry read.
we did a chemistry read, and it went really well. Like,
It went so good, and she's from Sacramento, and I'm from Sacramento.
Yes.
As soon as I found that out, I was like, hell yeah, like that's our girl.
like everybody gave me hugs, and I was like, this never happens. So then I got to join the team, and everybody was so nice. And after I found out that it was Zavin, then I went on the internet, and I was like, oh wow, Zavin gets to do so much stuff, and she's so cool, and shape-shifting, oh my God, that's me. That's so me. So yeah, it's been an amazing experience.
So I love you guys all touched upon, like, when you researched that you could only find one example. And this is something that, like, I carry my soapbox around, is like, we don't have representation. There's always a token, especially when it comes to superheroes. It's always one female, and she is either a damsel in distress or she's a love interest. A really bad love interest usually, right? And if you're really lucky, you get one person that checks some sort of diversity box, and they're usually a sidekick. They have lesser powers, and they never get a love story, like ever, ever, ever. And then you have the Runaways, which, don't quote me on this, but I think it is the only superhero show on TV that is majority female and majority people of color. Right? I know.
At least in Marvel, right?
Yeah. Maybe more.
Of S.H.I.E.L.D. also?
Oh, wait.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I said don't quote me on it. But I would love to know for you guys, like, what has that meant to you to not only be part of that kind of show, but also to provide that representation to all the people that need it? Sorry, hard-hitting question, but...
I mean, obviously, it's such an honor, but to be honest, like, every day going into work, I was just so, like, I knew I had to do a good job, and I was just so focused on really playing my character as honestly as possible. And that's what I've been doing. And then I guess after the season wraps, that's when I realized, like, wow, we're doing something really important and meaningful. This is such a great opportunity. And yeah, like, I feel really, really blessed every day, and I know how important it is to portray her, you know, truthfully and honestly, and yeah.
I think it's been so cool being able to be a part of a show that does provide so much representation across the board for everything. And I know, throughout my career, I've always wanted to find those kind of voices. And I think as an actor, one of the coolest things you can do is try to be able to find those projects that give people those voices that people can relate to. And to be able to do that and have them be a superhero, I think is just like kind of the icing on top. And Lyrica and I, from the very beginning, were like hounding Josh and Steph to let us to be able to pursue this relationship. And obviously we got to and are still pursuing it. So it's been a huge blessing, and being able to meet you guys and hear about the impacts that our characters have had and the show has had. It's such a special show to be able to be a part of, and I'm so glad it's been well received. It's amazing.
Yeah. I feel like also the whole representation thing carries itself over onto set, because like we don't have to think about our identities as much when we're not being forced into a token role, and we can just honestly play these characters for the reality of what it is. And like Josh and Steph are such amazing allies to go to on set and talk about everything, that I feel like it just makes for a better show. And like the women and the people of color on set are like just comfortable doing what we can do. You get a better product from it. And like I'm so proud of everything we've been able to put into the world. And like when people come back and say it's helped them in any type of way, it's like, oh yeah, that's why we do this. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Ditto.
Best answer. So let's talk about your characters a little bit, because I think season 1 scratched the surface, and we were kind of all itching for you guys to, like, you know, put the pedal to the metal and actually run away. And season 2, I feel like, just put you guys in an emotional blender, and really kind of challenged your characters to grapple with issues that they weren't really faced with. You know, they were in a bubble. And I'd love to know, from an acting perspective and just from a character perspective, you know, how did you tackle those challenges? Especially you. I mean, Gert's character, her season 2 was amazing. No, it was just something that we normally don't see addressed on TV, and it was done in such a, I think it done in the right way and a raw way, and what the ramifications were.
Yeah, so luckily I knew about her anxiety plotline season 1, episode 1. That was going to be a pilot plotline.
Awesome.
That was going to be a pilot plotline that was cut out of the edit because they were like, we just realized it'd be more effective once you guys are on the run. So I kind of got to play all of season 1 with that in mind. And then season 2, we had a new team of writers that was on set every day, and a lot of them came to me privately to tell me that they were writing their experience with anxiety and their medications, and it was like a very personal experience. So I had a lot of people on set that I could talk to about it, and even like crew members would come out of the woodwork to be like, I experienced this, and like this is what this felt like to me. And we had a lot of conversations behind the scenes about this experience that was really lovely. But ultimately all I could do at the end of the day was make it real to me, and it did put me through the ringer. I think Lyrica is going to touch on this because Lyrica went through the ringer. but yeah, like it's hard to do and like not let it affect your personal life. But again, it was like seeing the response and all the people who felt seen. It was really powerful, and like people telling me they felt less alone made me feel less alone. And it's a great community that comes from stories like this.
Yeah, I had a different experience. I had no idea that Nico would go darker. I think
You just
Quentin,
went a little dark.
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
smidge.
no, I think Quentin, episode 1 of season 2, Quentin, who is our executive producer, he came up to me and was like, "So you know how Nico's just, she's gone through it, and you know she's all dark and stuff. Well, it's just gonna get a little darker from here." And I was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Well, the dark dimension, and there's just a lot that's gonna happen. It's kind of like, you know, you don't really know. You're going crazy. You know you're going crazy. You just don't know how and why. It's a mess. But like, I want you to just throw yourself in that mess and just, you know, all abandon." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I see." But yeah, no, it was totally worth it. Of course, like you said, it's hard for it to not affect you personally. But that's why we all had each other to talk to and go to. Like, I think there were a few scenes afterwards. I was like, "Ariela, I think that was so bad. I'm so bad. I'm worthless. I shouldn't be here." And then she was like, "No, you're doing outstanding, honey. That's exactly, you know, you're doing your job right." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So that was kind of my headspace throughout the second season, but it was totally worth it. I'm so glad that it turned out the way it did.
Yeah, I think it was really fun because I in season 1, I really feel like we just set up a lot of stuff that we just went like full in on in season 2. And for Carolina, I think in season 1, she was a little bit hesitant to embrace who she was, hesitant to embrace her powers. And then season 2, we got to like completely explore all of those things, which was so much fun, except for occasionally being in a harness like 60 feet up in the air for like 2 hours. But other than that, it was so cool to be able to explore all these sides. And on a lot of teen shows, you don't get that kind of writing that Josh and Steph have given us, where we're able to deal with grief and deal with these relationships and deal with a lot of like, you know, very human emotions, even though we are superhuman. So it was a really fun season, and it was really awesome to be able to dive into all of this stuff.
I came on a little later. So I binged season 1 as soon as I found out that I got the show. I had seen the pilot, or maybe the first 3 episodes beforehand. And then I was like, okay, I need to finish the season. And going into season 2, I came in a lot later, so I had no idea the emotional journey the cast had been through yet until everybody else saw it, right? So I was sitting at home with my family and I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, so that's why I did that. Like, there's so many things that we're Marvel keeps things under wraps, it's part of the beauty and the mystery. So I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense now. So I'm excited that season 3 is coming to
Congrats, by the way, on season
further
3.
explore.
Congrats on season 3, by the way.
Yeah.
Very, very awesome. Actually, you guys you mentioned a harness, so I would love to talk stunts. Oh, come on, pull your mind out of the gutter. I'll tell you later. So, stunts, people, stunts. Love to talk stunts in season 2. So, season 2, stunts.
Yes.
Back on track. I'd love for you guys to touch upon.
Oh, yeah. Nasty.
Why am I sweating?
Lyrica's all nervous.
I'm like schwitzing.
That might have been the most awesomest serendipitous moment ever. So let's go back to stunts. Season 2 was crazy. Absolutely crazy, especially for you, Lyrica. Your fight scene with your parents was... So my 5-year-old is not old enough to watch the Runaways, but she's seen that fight scene because you guys all are in a superhero book that she has, and she's a big fan of the Runaways.
Aww.
And what I would love for you to talk about, all of you actually, is like what went into that stunt work, because that was some of the best fight scenes I've seen on TV for superheroes to date.
Well, with the Minoru fight scene, was episode 13, right? That was the last episode. We had about, I think, a week and a half to prep for it. So, and I, towards the end of the season, I didn't have many off days, so we just we would find like a lunch break to do, to do stunt training. But luckily, James Yaigashi and Brittany Ishibashi, who play my parents, they both have martial arts backgrounds as well. They're both black belts. I have
shows.
Yeah. And I have a black belt. I did karate for 10 years when I was younger.
Okay, so I love that you just brushed over. You have the black belt as well.
Yeah. And so we all got very lucky, and it just made so much sense, and we had so much fun, and gosh, all of that was such a blur. But yeah, I think by the end of the season, we were really just kind of like, there was no thought going into it. We were like, we're just going to give it our all and hope for the best. And yeah, I'm glad it turned out looking really cool.
I mean, it did. The rest of you guys, like, have you done any stunt preparation? What has that been like? I mean, I don't know if the rest of you guys have black belts, but.
Ginny, you have one.
I actually do.
Amazing.
My black belt did not come in handy this season at all. Maybe someday it will.
Nico can teach, Carolina a few things, I think.
But yeah, there's not much training you can do when you're just kind of like thrown into a harness. The only thing is like, thank God I'm not afraid of heights, which no one thought to ask me before they threw me 60 feet up in the air. But the harness thing, it's like things are getting pulled in all sorts of directions, and it's pretty uncomfortable, but it's also can be pretty fun up there.
Oh, yeah, remember when it was Greg, you, me, all three of us on a harness for like a few hours, and we were just kind of we were doing this for a few hours. That was fun though.
It was fun. Poor Greg. Greg was not.
Yeah, we got to hold each other's hands, and that was a fun day.
So that's like the extent of the stunt work that I've done. Is really I'm just like thrown in harnesses and insane heights.
So let's talk relationships for a little bit, shall we? I mean, it wouldn't be a panel if we didn't touch upon them. So Dina Rue, you guys mentioned you shipped it pretty hard from the beginning.
Yeah. Poor Renzi.
I mean, as you should. Amazing, amazing relationship. And what has been the biggest eye-opener with you guys of, especially in season 2, because it is positive queer representation on camera, which is a rarity, and it's the one of the main love stories, which again also super rare in TV. So, what has been the most surprising thing for you guys that has come out of that?
The most surprising thing? Well, I mean, I think we went into season 2 feeling pretty safe about, Dinora definitely being a thing. And then as the season progressed, we realized, like, as all relationships are, things can come into the equation to make it a little bit complicated. Like,
I wonder who you're talking about.
for instance, one girlfriend accidentally killing her girlfriend's father, and her father being the one responsible for her sister's death. Like, it gets a little, tricky.
An alien betrothed shapeshifter
yeah, that was
coming in also.
What the heck?
Unconditional love.
It's just a little bit of a complex, really.
Little bit.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know for you guys, what hit the cutting room floor that we didn't get to see? Is there any scenes that you guys did that you loved in season 2?
I think Josh and Stephanie have always really cherished and valued every Dinora scene that we got. Wait, have we got anything good?
Well, I will say that you know the I lamp you scene.
Yeah.
the best
that
line
was-
ever.
Finish.
So that was supposed to be a longer, I lamp you, I lump you, I love you. That scene.
By the
was
way, I
supposed
love
to-
that scene so
I
much.
know.
I lamp that scene.
I lump you. But it was supposed to be a bit longer. I think we were at Griffith Park in some kind of, what do you call that?
It was actually the Bat Cave when they shot the Batman show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they use the same cave as the Bat. Fun fact, as the Bat Cave.
Yeah, I think, but then there was like a safety hazard because there were something started to fall, so we had to kind of, evacuate from there really quickly, and we couldn't really finish the scene. So they did. I mean, it turned out great, but I think there was a lot more to it that I wish you guys.
Well, and at one point the idea, because these big boulders fell from that cave and almost hit someone, and they wanted us to continue the scene.
Yeah.
So at one point,
And then everyone else was allowed to. They had to wear helmets.
everyone
but we
else got
couldn't.
helmets, and at one point they were like, "Well, if we got them wigs, could we like fit a hard hat
Oh my
under
gosh.
wigs?" And everyone's like, "No."
Could you imagine?
Like, that's not gonna fly. So we couldn't finish the scene, but the end product still turned out
I think you get the idea of what was happening there.
Well, I'm glad you weren't hit by any boulders.
Us too.
Yeah.
So we mentioned season 3, which clearly no one's excited about at all. But, I'd love to know from you guys, I know you probably don't know much what's going to happen. They probably are just starting to write it now. But what's the biggest thing that you want for your character in season 3?
More stunts.
Yes.
I've been hounding Josh and Steph with videos of all the stunt training I've done. I'm just like, just so you know, like I can do this.
Well, hopefully they're watching this and they hear that we want to see Gert do more stunts. Like, yes.
I mean, have you seen Ariela dance? She's a great dancer. I'm not even talking about on the dance floor. Like you had training as you did ballet.
Yeah, she also can use a butterfly knife really
she
well.
can do this
Fun fact
I was trying to keep that a secret so they can use.
Sorry. I mean, she doesn't.
Sorry.
No. No knife trick.
So
Yeah, I've been
what
sending them
don't
videos of me with a butterfly knife, being like, use this.
You're sending them to Josh.
What don't you
You're
guys
like-
do? Is there something that you don't do?
Math.
You covered it all.
Us trying to divide a bill is bad.
There's an app for that. So
Yeah.
the rest of you.
I'd like to see what Zavin's all about. More.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I think something magical can happen here. I mean, Carolina is not really. We leave the second season with Carolina not in a good place.
Oh yeah, for season 3, I hope that I make it out of the
Yeah.
box alive. Like,
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I hope I'm around
Nope.
for season 3.
That's a pretty good wish. Okay, so before we open it up to audience questions, we did something in London that was a lot of fun, and I love doing it. It's one of my favorite drunk games to play with my friends. It's Would You Rather. You guys ever played?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you raise your hand if you
No, that's never have I ever. Also a fun game, but this one is, I'm going to ask you a either or question. And just feel free to answer it however you want. So, first one, would you rather live for the rest of your life in the Harry Potter universe or the Game of Thrones universe?
I already have my answer.
Game of Thrones, no, right? That doesn't feel safe. I guess Harry Potter, I'd have a better chance of surviving, right? Right?
I don't know. Do I want to be in the one where I get magic powers or the one where I'll probably die when I try to do good things?
Fair point.
I've never seen Harry Potter, so.
What?
I know.
Not one?
I know I haven't, but I've seen every Game of Thrones episode ever. But Game of Thrones scares me, so I guess Harry Potter. I don't know.
I'm a huge Potterhead, so Harry Potter. I pretended my name was Clara Quaffle for way too long, so yeah.
Sorry, I have to go back. How have you never seen Harry Potter?
And there's a Ginny in Harry Potter, right? Yep, no idea. I just
Did
like
you just
missed it.
actively avoid watching? Like, I don't know how you missed that.
I was a really timid kid, and they all kind of scared me. And then I was like, the ship had sailed, so many were out, and then I've just never seen it.
Okay.
It's never too late.
Never too late, Jenny.
All right, guys.
Do a
All right, I'll
marathon.
watch them.
All right, would you rather be a contestant on Big Brother or The Amazing Race?
The Amazing Race. You get to visit like the whole world for 2 to 3 days. You'd at least get to eat, right?
Wait, Amazing Race is like a food thing?
No, you like.
Sorry, I just heard eating and then.
For me, yes, but you like solve puzzles and you go around the whole world trying to win $1 million or something.
And Big Brother. Sorry, I don't really
Big
know.
Brothers
these
is a
shows.
bunch of people stuck in a house.
No, Big Brother is like a
I
big
take the ladder,
organization.
then. Amazing Race, yeah.
No, not exactly.
But it's like it gets the name from 1984.
Yes.
Yeah, so the other one.
I love that you brought it to 1984, exactly where it gets the name from. Yeah. All right. This is actually one of my favorite questions. Would you rather have a 30-minute conversation with Oprah or God?
Oprah is God.
Thank you!
Good one.
So both.
Yeah, they're kind of the same, right? Like I don't.
I can't tell.
They both know too much, and I feel like I can't know what they know.
Right. I'd rather not yet.
All right. Would you rather live the rest of your life without Netflix and Hulu or social media?
Social media can. I'm sorry. Well, actually, no. I take that back because I love talking to all of you guys. But damn, food shows. I don't know. I gotta give this one a rest. You guys go.
I gotta say, guys, I love TV. I love binge watching. I'd have to give up social media, I think. But then how am I going to
Then how are
stalk
we
my
gonna talk?
exes on Instagram?
Is that why you have social media, Ginny?
Then what am I going to do? How do I keep tabs on people?
It's a hard question.
It's tough.
Well,
No, but-
without Netflix and Hulu,
We wouldn't.
like, where are you gonna watch Runaways?
Yeah. That's also
So-
the thing. But then I like the fact that with social media, I can, stay connected with you guys and have a dialogue going. And
But if no one can watch them, they
I know,
wouldn't
would
be
we
tweeting you.
even be talking though?
Yeah.
But there's still snail mail, like.
Yeah, we get that.
right? Like,
True.
so,
So let's keep Hulu and Netflix.
yeah, and then we'll just, buy some stamps.
Find some other ways to
I
communicate.
love that you group source the answer. This is amazing. All right. If you could only talk for the rest of your life in Dr. Seuss rhymes or Tupac rap lyrics.
Both sound good.
I don't think I could pull off Tupac rap lyrics, so I'm going to go with Dr. Seuss rhymes.
You'd be so whimsical.
I mean, in Dr. Seuss, you get to, like, really make up words.
It's true.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I'm going to stick with Pac.
Green eggs and ham. I think Dr. Seuss has a special place in my heart. But Tupac. I don't know. I'm sorry. Tupac. Okay, sure, Tupac. Yeah. Or Dr. Seuss.
I'm with Ginny. I don't think I'd do Tupac justice.
I don't think many of us could.
you know.
All right, I got one more for you guys. Would you rather glow like a human rainbow or wield a magical staff?
Rainbow. No, because the staff comes with a lot of baggage. So, yeah, I feel like it'd be nice to fly and glow a little bit for a day.
Well, I'm going to go staff, because why not?
Yeah, why not?
see what Nico's got
we
going on.
We can still
for a
date
day.
each other, you know.
There we
It would
go.
still, yeah.
How about for...
I know this wasn't an option, but shapeshifting is actually my ideal power. I don't know. I think Seven's cool. Out of these two, I don't know.
Hey! What's wrong with our power?
I like the staff, but I like my soul. So rainbows, I guess.
I think I would go with staff. Just because, I mean, I know. There's just so many possibilities. Like, you can freeze stuff. I don't know. I mean, you can freeze stuff.
Yeah.
You could probably heat stuff up.
You can only do it once.
Everything comes back to food, all right? So I could heat up my food with the staff. I could freeze it really quick.
But then the more food you make, the more your soul suffers, honey.
Just
but isn't
like real
that
life.
Wow. We need to talk more.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so staff.
I wish I could ask you more questions because this is just awesome. But I want to turn it over to the audience to allow them to ask you their questions. So I think Mike's coming out. Don't be shy. Anyone? Woo!
Just go.
Okay, sorry. Hi, guys. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Good.
I'm an awesome fan of the show, and Lyrica, I wanted to show you my Goth Witch shirt.
Oh my goodness. Wait, I saw your tweet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
As my plane landed in Vegas, you replied to the tweet. So I
Yes,
just had to
yes,
show you
yes.
that.
Did you make that yourself?
No,
or-
someone else did, and she has a booth down here. I gotta
That's
give a
so
shout
cool. I
out.
have to
Atomic
check it out.
Octopus.
Awesome.
Jordan, yeah.
Jordan!
You guys know Jordan, awesome. Okay, so my question is, so in the comics, since Nico is a member of the all-female Avengers, the A-Force, and I know Marvel's been talking about doing an all-female movie, would any of you guys be down to maybe team up with Captain Marvel in the A-Force movie?
Yeah, if we get the invite, of course. Yeah.
Could you imagine not being
I know.
down for
No.
that?
Who would
I
say no to
can't.
I
that?
actually would have loved one of you to say, yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm okay, actually.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Sophia. My question was kind of for all of you. Do you have a favorite scene that you filmed, or any behind the scenes moments that you thought were funny that you'd want to share?
Which ones?
I love your outfit, by the way. You look really cool.
Yeah,
And your staff is
It's
amazing.
so
Yeah, you look
accurate,
amazing.
that jacket.
It looks even. No offense to the prop makers, but it looks really good. I was almost going to say better than the actual staff, but it looks just the same. Wow, great job.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
you killed
much.
it.
That means a lot.
Like how we didn't answer the question.
Sorry.
What was the question?
It was
Fun
favorite
pet stories
scene.
or scenes.
Oh,
I feel like we say tense a lot and we've never explained what that is.
Do we even know what the joke
I
is?
don't
though?
remember it.
So basically, we were in a group scene. I think Ginny.
It was our
me,
first episode of season 2.
Right. Ariela, Allegra, and Renzi and Greg were present. I think
No, Allegra wasn't there. She
Allegra wasn't there. Okay, but Greg and you were upstairs.
Yeah.
Ginny and I we were downstairs. This is after she glows, and then by the staircase you see those words. What were those words again?
Like, you're the light.
You're the light of. You're not the light of.
Shine on me.
But you shine on me. Yeah, that one.
Something like that.
But I think and then in the scene, I grab her hand and we go to the middle area before the staircase, and then Ariela and Greg they have a few lines, but
it was we came up and we were like, oh, there's the raccoons over there, blah blah blah.
Right.
We're gonna stay here, and
Right.
then Renzi was supposed to say oh, but I just bought all those tents, and then he goes just kidding, but Greg couldn't hear, so he says the tents thing, and he takes his pause before saying just kidding, and we're all in it, and then Greg just screams
Tents.
tent. None of us.
And we
knew
were
what
like,
was going on.
And then he kept saying it. I think he went one more time. He went, tense. And we're like, Greg, shut up.
So that take was ruined, and we just said tense all season.
But it was an ongoing joke. It was just for some reason, maybe we were tired.
I think it was
just
funnier
kept
in the
ringing
day.
in our yeah.
telling it
It's a
maybe
hard
it wasn't
story to
funny.
It
retell,
wasn't funny
honestly.
when we retold.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm 5'1". So first of all, thank you guys so much for being here. It really means a lot to all of us that you're here. So that's to all of you. And I wanted to ask Lyrica and Ginny, but anyone is welcome to answer. We didn't get to see a lot of downtime with the kids in season 2. You know, just like being kids. So if Nico and Carolina were to go on like a real date, like what would that?
What is that like?
Right? You know, they can take a beat. They're like, hey, we have a day off. Let's go do something nice. Like, what would that be?
That's a really good question.
I mean, yeah, let's go step by step. How would we start our morning?
I feel like
You would braid my hair.
maybe do some makeup.
Do some
and then I
makeup.
feel like if you were cold, I'd like give you one of those like little hugs
Yes,
where
yes,
I warm
yes,
up
yes,
and I
yes.
warm you up.
Obviously on the big spoon. So we start our day
Obviously.
cuddling, and then we do the hair and makeup, and then what do we eat? Where do we go?
Oh,
We do still have to stay hidden, right?
yeah.
Shoot. That's our problem. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could make like a nice fort. I don't know, like build like a nice romantic thing in the
we're fort building on our
foyer.
date?
Yeah, in the foyer with the candles, and then you can glow. You can make the place glow a little bit.
I love where you're taking this.
mood
This is great.
lighting.
I was gonna say like arcade and like
Oh, well, that's fun.
upper cars, but this is much better.
No, I'm a softie. You know, Nico's a softie. This is what she really
I'd
wants.
be like, yeah, we could go do bumper cars and maybe get like a soft serve.
Yeah, Ginny's
that
a fun
voice?
one. Yeah, but we could do both.
No, let's go with your date. That's much better.
Yeah, no, we could do both. We could do both, and then we'll come back.
Fort building and then we go do some bumper cars.
Yeah, and then we'll feed Old Lace together, and it's like almost like going to the zoo together, but not really. But you know, we can't go to the zoo, so Old Lace will do, and
Yeah.
with Gert's permission, and
And then we just spoon all night and just,
just spoon all
love the
night.
night away.
yes.
Thank you. Hello. If you could have one Marvel character crossover into the Runaways show, who would it be?
Good question. Great question.
So we only either get Cloak or Dagger.
I mean, I guess if it's something like that,
show.
that's a great show. If it's something like that, you can have like two. But like one show or movie or universe, like group of characters can come in. What would it be?
Definitely Cloak and Dagger is definitely a good option. I love Jessica Jones, but she where is she now? Where's she at though?
Disney took her.
Yeah. But yeah, Jessica Jones would be pretty cool to have. Any ideas?
I was gonna say Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Love Brie Larson, so I take her any day.
And she also like understands aliens, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Also, Shuri, like I want her to upgrade our techs. Yeah. Oh, she'd be so cool.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. My question is for Clarissa, Nico, and Lyrica and Ginny. In the season finale, there was a short joke, the exact duplicate. And I was wondering if that was in the script, or did you just, your reaction to it was in the script?
Well, Josh and Stephanie. Wait, who wrote that episode? Do you remember? Quentin wrote that episode. Thanks, Quentin. Yeah, like it was always an ongoing joke because in every group scene, like if they would have a camera pan, they would obviously like it would end with them tilting down to me. And it's so hard shooting a scene with Ginny because like she's just so much taller than me. So I guess they were like, we have to point it out. And Zavin,
I'm very tall. I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
So I think I'm the tallest of the Runaways.
That's awesome.
I'm 5'10", so same.
Okay, yes.
But yeah, it was written. I mean, that reaction was very genuine, you know. being tiny, you know, you have to fight through life a little bit. People are gonna push your buttons, so you got to fight back. So that's a little bit of Nico and Lyrica.
Okay. It's been challenging to find the way that looks best to kiss Lyrica, because
Hey.
I'm always having to like.
What do you mean? That you have to crane your neck
Yeah,
down?
we always are
as
trying
you
to
guys
find
like to
some
point out.
awkward hug thing to make it work.
Yeah, have they ever actually used they have used an apple box, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
And then I also have to be in platform booted heels, so I don't know. I'm so short.
Thank you.
That answers your question. Sorry.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Living such busy lives as you live, what do you guys do as like self-care to like decompress, remember how to eat and sleep, all that stuff?
Lyrica. During the season, I don't. Self-care wasn't really. I mean, the Korean spa, right. That was every time I was really I was like, wow, it's been a week. I don't know what to do with myself. I would just take myself to the Korean spa and then problem solved, really. Yeah, I'm not very good with self-care though. I'm always just kind of just do the deed and then you'll pick up the broken pieces afterwards. But yeah, the Korean spa is definitely a good place to be. My favorite place on earth.
Candlelit bath, right? If you have a bathtub, use it.
I love a rooftop bar on a Saturday, so I find myself out with a pitcher of sangria on any given Saturday, and that's usually my speed. Yeah.
I don't do a lot of self-care.
I feel like Gert would want that.
You surround yourself with friends.
I have a lot of friends that I love who support me, and I support them, and we make a lot of art together. I feel like I had a whole thing this year about who is my responsibility towards, and the art itself can be the self-care. So even when the schedule gets busy, that itself is nurturing in a way, and turning the task into the thing that fuels you itself is a really nice mentality that I've been trying to gain.
You also have a cat.
I also have not anymore. Well, no, I moved out. The cat's just.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, man, how did I not know?
No, I just moved.
What a way to
cat
kill
is
a cat.
now
Oh my
God. No, I love her. She's alive and well. I don't physically
say it
own
like
her
that.
anymore. I forgot, and I just didn't tell everyone. Sorry.
Thanks so much. Sorry about your cat.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, thanks for being here. I'm old enough to be your mom, but that's cool. 90s me would have loved the show so much. Better late than never. So glad you guys are here. You talked about the humanity within superhuman stories, and I think you guys do an amazing job of keeping it feeling real, even when there's crazy shit going on with magic and staffs and whatever. And I just wanted to know how you do that. How you're doing crazy stuff, but you still stay really connected to true emotion. Is that hard?
Well, I feel I think the writers do a very good job of keeping all the fantastical elements as just elevated circumstance for what our characters are already going through. She's a glowing rainbow. That's a metaphor for something.
It is a metaphor.
In case you didn't catch the metaphor, guys, it's a metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. So it's nice in that sense of we don't have to do too much work to wrap our brains around it because it all lends itself to the greater thing that's going on. And the core of it is the emotional realness, I guess. Yeah.
And I do have me 16, I see so much of myself in Nico. So it was definitely not the hardest thing to do to tap into that. And yeah, I think all of our characters are sort of the heightened versions of ourselves, right? Am I wrong or right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think when I first started on the show, I remember I was really perplexed by you're dealing with these insane elements and how the hell is anyone going to be able to keep this grounded? But then I think at the end of the day, you just have to like what Ariela, what everyone has been saying is that you just have to latch on to the groundedness of the show and what everyone can relate to is emotion. So even if the circumstances are heightened and insane, you can still tap into the emotion of what that character is going through, even if she's talking about her alien shape-shifting betrothed, and I think whatever it is.
Yeah, Josh and Stephanie have always made it a point that it is a superhero show, but at the end of the day, it's a show about these teenagers dealing with these issues, and you follow them through, you know, their journey as like growing up and finding themselves in this crazy world, and yeah, right.
I have more emotion in real life. So I'm kind of going the opposite direction.
Savin has emotions, though.
I know I do. It's a little more muted, though.
Yeah.
But she's learning. In my rendition, she's learning what it means to be human.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to take this opportunity to circle back to Denora really quick. This question is for Ginny and Lyrica. What is your favorite part about the Denora relationship?
I mean, I was making fun of the height difference, but I also kind of love the height difference, to be perfectly honest. I think it's kind of cute.
Thanks. I also like that, you know, I think I've said this before. Nico is the darkness, and Carolina is the light that lights her world through the darkness. Yeah, I think they really, I think they really kind of, what's a good way to say it? They not complete each other, because I don't like that wording. They complement each other. They balance each other out, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like the classic scenario of opposites attracting, which I think obviously, you know, plays itself out in a lot of relationships, not necessarily with like a witch and a rainbow, but again, it's a metaphor.
It is a metaphor.
And yeah, I do think it's a really cool relationship we got going on.
I do too.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi, thank you guys so much for coming. It means a lot that you guys came to this for us. My question is, like, now that the show has kind of gotten more popular, do you find yourselves being like more recognized out on the streets, and like how has that experience been? No? Okay. Like, how has that experience been?
You look like your character in real life.
Well, yeah, they don't. I mean, I'm in really natural makeup on the show, but I get recognized when my hair is in a big bun. Only. That happened when I was getting. They have this place in LA where it's gonna circle back to food. So they have like edible cookie dough, and yeah, okay. So I've hit that place up like 4 times, and the girl there was like, wait, oh my God, what's going on with those parents? And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So cool. Yeah, nah.
Same, no, doesn't happen.
I get recognized when I'm out with Renzi, because he's very recognizable.
Renzi's very
funny story, one time I was out with Lyrica, and we were very loudly talking about like intimate details of our life, and then the person literally this close to us turns and goes like, "Hi, I love Runaways."
No, but she recognized you. She didn't recognize me.
Oh
Yeah. But I was just like,
yeah, so you got
watching the
away
show,
with
though.
it.
That's
You,
awesome.
you got away with sharing those details of your life. I did not.
Goodness.
I will say, Lyrica and I went to the Korean spa together one day.
Oh, that was
and it's like
the one time.
Yeah, and it's like
we were spread eagle. We were in the steam room.
It's a nude spa.
Nude spa, like it's all women. So and everyone's walking around completely nude. We were at the steam room, very comfortable.
And we joked. We were like, "What if someone recognizes
literally, I think
us
we were
right
just
now?"
kind of like, and we were very close to each other. And then these 2 women in front of us were just like. And yeah, they talked, yeah, and then we spoke to them, right?
Yeah, we did, but
in
we
the
were
steam
just
room,
like,
and then we just
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we have time for one more question.
Hey guys, thanks for coming. So I know you already touched on like kind of power swapping, but if you had the opportunity to play any other character on the show, who would it be? Group ask.
You know who I thought was like a weird answer, but like while we were shooting it, I was like, oh, this would be so fun. Topher. I was like, ooh, just like come in for 3 episodes, be the bad guy.
Great
like,
storyline.
Yeah, it was so fun. He like monologued, like we'd sit for 5 hours while he monologued, and we
were just kind of there, like,
and I'd be like, I want a bad guy monologue. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, Topher's pretty cool.
I would love Old Lace. I think I would swap with Gert and have my little like pet dinosaur. Who doesn't want a pet dinosaur? That's fucking awesome.
Tina, I actually want to play my mama.
Yes!
The coolest character, right? I mean, she's the true badass of the show, I think.
I think I'd want to play Stacy. I know that's kind of like maybe from left field, but she's so quirky and fun and like full of emotion, and then gets to be like an alien now. I don't know. That one. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So before I let you guys go, because this has actually been a lot of fun, I have one more question that I love to ask people whenever I do moderation. And what's the one thing that you want people to take away from meeting you?
It's a lot of pressure on that one. I don't know.
We're just trying our best, guys. We really want you to, love our show because we love it and we appreciate all of you guys. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I just want you to walk away and be like, oh, she's a nice lady. Like, and I'll be like, yeah, you guys are all really nice too. Like, that's all I want.
One thing that I think about a lot with fan interactions is like a lot of the people who like this show, like a lot of you guys are people that like I would hang out with. Like, I don't want it to be like a weird separation of like, I saw you on TV. It's like we can like talk, and like there shouldn't be that barrier of like power dynamics, I guess is like a weird way to put it. But yeah, it's like I had a Tumblr growing up. Like, this was the show I'd be watching. Like,
I still have a Tumblr.
Yeah. I made a Tumblr for Gert. It's secret, but I'm on Tumblr. But yeah, it's one of those things of like, if we met under different circumstances, like if we met at a party, we'd just be hanging out. So like we can just hang out.
I just want you guys to like me.
Honest.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It's been a lot of fun. We are so happy to have you guys here. And can we give them another big round of applause?
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of ClexaCon.
Thank you.